Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so glad that you joined us today for Storytime. We are going to be reading A Valentine for Frankenstein. And because it's almost Valentine's Day, I want to remind you that Monday, February the 14th, Valentine's Day, we will be having bingo here at the library, and everyone that gets a bingo gets a prize, so make sure you show up. It's at 4 p.m. So it'll be after school. Please try to come out. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll have some snacks and just some fun. And then don't forget about March Book Madness. All of those are up on the Padlet, which is like our bulletin board for kids things. You can find that either on our website or you can go to our Facebook to find the Padlet address. I have an announcement about that on there, but it's also on our website, which makes it a lot easier. So you can just go through and say, oh hey, there's that March Book Madness icon, and click on it and you can see all sorts of the fun stories and everything else that you're going to need for that. There should be a bracket up, some information. You can listen to the stories there. I'm still getting some up, but there's a lot of them there. And then you can get that bracket back to me at the library. Make sure you do that before the beginning of March. All right, let's get started with our story. A Valentine for Frankenstein. Leslie Kimmelin is the author. And it says Timothy Banks is the illustrator. Alrighty. Oh, already you can see. Very interesting. There's an eyeball and a hand. Some stuff. All over town, monsters were getting ready for the Valentine's Day bash. Taking slime baths, teasing and tangling their tails, and sharpening their claws and fangs. In his castle, Frankenstein was getting ready too. He looked in the mirror. His skin was a ghastly shade of green. His head was almost a perfect square. His flower was droopy, near dead. Still the other monsters all made fun of him. Just 2 eyes, said Smellabella. No tail, said Werewolf. He looks almost human. And he's nice, sneered Spike. Blah. I don't believe he's a monster at all, said Brains. But Frankenstein was comfortable in his own green skin, so he stitched on his crookedest smile, dressed in his worst tuxedo, and set off for the party. There were revolting contests, repulsive snacks, and a real live band. Well, kind of live. Some ghouls and skeletons and mummies. The cupcake decorating contest was first. Three-Eyed Vi made a cupcake called This Icky Eyeball is Watching You. Ortina's creation had fungus filling and toenail frosting. Frankenstein made the grossest cupcake he could think of. He held it up to the judges and smiled. You call that a monster cupcake? Smellabella jeered. No bugs, no slime, and glitter on top? Three-Eyed Vi threw a cupcake at his face. Bullseye, said Frankenstein. Good aim, Vi. So, all of theirs are very gross, and then he has kind of a pretty one. They're really being mean to Mr. Frankenstein over here, aren't they? But he's doing really well. He's like making a joke of it, being nice. Next came the banana slug pie eating contest. Frankenstein was super speedy. He thought he would win until he wiped his mouth with a napkin and was immediately disqualified. That's not how monsters eat, Buster, Spike snickered. He put a pie on the floor, stomped on it, and then snarfed the pieces from between his hairy toes. That's how monsters eat. Wow, said Frankenstein admiringly. You're very talented. The last contest was for burping. Frankenstein was the loudest, longest, smelliest burp he'd ever made. You call that a burp, said Stinker. That was a cough. a hiccup. It was almost a giggle. Just then, a monster burped so loudly the ground shook. "Way to go, Belcher!" yelled Smellabella. "That was epic!" Frankenstein had never seen Belcher before. She was taller than he was, with piles of tangled black hair and a beautiful smile. "Awesome!" said Frankenstein, smitten. But before Frankenstein could congratulate Belcher on her terrifically disgusting award-winning burp, the band began to play. The monsters were wild about dancing. Mummies unwrapped, fangs flew, a skeleton named Bones fell to pieces. Luckily, Frankenstein was there to lend a hand. Belcher boogied like a pro. Frankenstein tried to copy her moves, but during the zombie Roomba, he fell flat on his face. It was hard to Roomba with 2 left feet. When he stood up, he noticed something sticking out of his pocket. It was a Valentine's Day card. For me, thought Frankenstein. It was his first ever Valentine. Which ghoul could have put it there? It says, "Please be mine, Frankenstein." Who would have put it there? "Was it you, Rainbow?" he asked, holding up the card. Rainbow answered by spitting at him in 5 colors. "Impressive," said Frankenstein, cleaning his face with his handkerchief and sighing softly. "As if," said Headless Harriet, before he could ask. Then she removed her head and threw some purple gloop at him. The soft gloop didn't hurt, though his feelings did. Still, "Cool color," Frankenstein managed to reply. "Aw, they're hurting his feelings." Frankenstein searched the card for clues. The card was zigzag-shaped. The writing was red. It had a whiff of something stinky and wonderful. Just then, Belcher bopped by. She had a red marker in her pocket. She had a zigzag stripe in her hair. She had a wonderfully stinky smell wafting off of her. She had to be his secret Valentine. Frankenstein tapped Belcher on the shoulder. She turned round, let out a deep and awesome burp. "Please be mine, Frankenstein," she said sweetly. Frankenstein grinned so widely some stitches popped. He gave Belcher a worm wristband. She gave Frankenstein a piece of snot-flavored bubble gum. The other monsters noticed and wondered, what did Belcher see in him? "I've never met a friendly monster before," gushed Belcher. "He's my kind of monster." "He did notice my perfect aim," said Three-Eyed Vi slowly. "And my monster manners," observed Spike. "His extra body parts come in handy," mumbled Bones. "I guess it's okay to be nice sometimes," Headless Harriet added, remembering that Frankenstein had liked her purple gloop. "If that's the kind of monster you are." The music started up again. The monsters joined together in a ginormous kicking, spitting, burping, gnashing, glitter-tastic conga line. Every kind of monster was welcome. After all, a monster is a monster is a monster. The end. I hope you guys enjoyed the Valentine's Day story, and you all have a great Valentine's Day. Don't forget about bingo. All right, bye guys.